Hello fellow Gunters. Omega and the title update 3 will launch within 1 week of this video, before the end of September, and I think it is a good moment to review all my most used builds for the moment. I have done a selection of 7 different builds for everyone focused in different aspects of the Gunlance. Building for Gunlance currently is very easy. Get Lord Soul set bonus using arch-tempered pieces and then an additional set bonus for either even more damage or some extra self-healing. Then stack as much attack boosting skills as you can slot or handle. Best thing about Gunlance builds is that they can be used with almost any talisman in Gunlance. Don't matter if you want to use a wide based on charged shells, hop bursting with Zo Gunlance or spamming Wormstake full blast. Of course some skills and sets favors certain styles, but as said, you aren't forced into one Gunlance or style, and these will also serve well for any good Gunlance introduced in the upcoming update. To showcase this, I will feature different Gunlances and weapon skill setups with each build. I'm also not using what is considered a god talisman. I consider the staple decent talisman to be of 4 weapon skills, for example artillery 3 or attack boost 3 with 1 weapon slot but then no useful armor skill. A god talisman as mentioned in the past consists of 5 weapon skills, with the second one being those with 4 weapon skills and then at least 1 useful armor skill such as burst, agitator, counterstrike, earplugs or peak performance. Some of the builds really require 1 point of these armor skills to complete. I will indicate which one, but I will use subpar talismans for those. This also means you can increase the power of these builds with a better talisman and add more skills to the armor or weapon if you get lucky enough. Talking about skills, the staple baseline is agitator 4 or 4 and then at least 1 point of burst. For example, the first featured set is the Lord Souls plus Guardian Ebony Odogaron set bonus named Burst Boost. Burst Boost is awesome even if you only get 1 point of burst, since you get the full benefit of the set bonus from the first hit. Just 1 level of burst with Burst Boost 1 is worth 16 points of attack, that is equivalent to agitator 4. Burst Boost also increases the time to keep the burst bonus going by 1 second. Usually it is easy to keep it going except after wyvern fire because of the huge recovery time. If you use a lot of charged shells you also might have difficulty keeping it. If you get a better talisman than this one you may get earplugs or 1 extra level of burst. 1 extra level of burst is 3 points more of attack. I usually find that earplugs can have a bigger impact if you can wyvern fire or wormstake full blast through a roar. The only problem with this build is that it lacks any way of self-healing. The armor pieces of ebony are also lacking a bit of skills and makes it somehow inefficient. This is the reason why you commonly see the second featured build. Zoshia armor pieces are rich with skill points and provide a lot more of level 1 skill points to play around, plus super recovery that is very nice to counter the chip damage you may get from guarding monsters. The difference between both sets is 5 attack in favor of ebony, so that is the trade-off for the super recovery effect. I consider both sets on equal grounds with pros and cons, and both are the standard most used sets. Then the third set is my personal favorite, where you do some trade-offs in order to sneak in peak performance and hasten recovery. This is what I call the Super Berserker set. This has actually better damage output than the super recovery if you can get both counterstrike and peak performance going. The problems of the set is that it is more reliant on conditional bonuses and is only possible if you get yourself a talisman with one of the relevant armor skills like counterstrike or peak performance. But since you are using both counter and peak, the other thing is that is rare to not have either active. Hasten is also very superior to super recovery for healing. In Gunlance you can activate it after hitting the enemy 8 times with 1 second between hits. That seems a lot, but with attacks that hit multiple times like the stakes you can easily count for multiple hits in one attack, and the amount recovered is one of the best. This is my most recommended set. Now, if you can't or want to use hasten recovery, there is a good enough alternative thanks that duna legs include quick sheath. Just add speed eating and recovery up and you can now heal yourself very fast using potions. Of course using potions still requires stopping or hitting the monster, but is still reliable. You also can make use of buff items to increase your damage mid-fight. I'm using this set a lot because I lack a god talisman with 4 attack skills and burst or counter or peak, so that is what I can use. This also comes with super recovery for getting peak active if you get some accidental minor damage like when guarding or if the potion gets short by a little. The next set is about party support. Uses again the super recovery template, but here is customized for being able to provide the best healing for a party with speed eating and wide range. This set needs 4 relevant skills in the talisman to be possible. For armor skills you really don't sacrifice anything from the super recovery set with full agitator and burst 4. With a really good roll you could even squeeze burst 5 there. The next set is the successor of the gore magala set where I seek to get as much affinity as possible. You can get 70% affinity on an Arshan Gunlance without any affinity roll. Here you are using the duna belt that comes with latent power and maximum might for 40% affinity in one armor piece. That is an improvement in damage if you use Wormstake full blast a lot. This is the set recommended for elemental gunlances and has been used in world record speed runs. While most gunlance attacks can't crit, the stake still can do it and is a big chunk of damage. The other case where this set is recommended is when you are pairing gunlance with any other regular weapon that doesn't require stamina, that is not bow or dual blades. Regular sets are unfit for other weapons because of the lack of affinity, so this is a nice compromise even if it is not optimal for the secondary weapon or for gunlance that aren't spamming Wormstake full blast hard enough. The recommended gunlances for this set are Leja Gunlance for thunder, Gark for dragon and fire and ice Arshans. I would not use this for status Arshan Gunlances or if you are using the alternative styles of hop bursting or charge shelling spam. There is a final set that I can't showcase in game because it requires 2 Ceregios Dissenters and I have got the most awful luck to the point that I spent the last 2 days farming with no luck, so I'm going to use a screenshot of a website to show the set. Adrenaline Rush is a nice skill with one of the best outputs in the game of 30 attack, but before the Ceregio's armor was cumbersome to use, plus requires you to evade. That is something that Gunlancers usually aren't used to. The Ceregio's armor fixed it by expanding the duration to up to 1 minute and also giving you a 5% bonus that is even better than Lord Souls. This set gives you the best damage output if you can keep Adrenaline Rush active. This is why I wanted to show you the set even if I can't properly showcase it. I plan to do a video about it as soon as I can get all the pieces, wait for it. And this is all. Sets all with very decent attack and different levels of utility and survival and wait to get your attack going, fit for everyone. Omega got no chance against you. By the way, Omega seems to be weak to thunder. Maybe you could get one Legicarus Gunlance ready just in case. I also wouldn't be surprised if a robotic enemy uses lots of thunder-based attacks. That goes well with Legiacrus Gunlance necessity to boost your thunder defense. That's all for today. Thanks for watching and see you next week.